Have you ever wondered if you could print an organ at home the way you would print photos? This seems to be pure science fiction, but researchers around the world have been able to print a number of different organs with this technology. How is it possible? What has already been created? And when can you order your own replacement heart? You're about to find out. Welcome to my channel. If you want to learn more about artificial intelligence and its applications, remember to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any new videos. First things first, what exactly is bioprinting? Simply put, bioprinting is a form of 3D printing that uses living cells instead of plastic or metal. Cells are combined with a substance known as a scaffold to create something called bio-ink, which can then be printed in layers to form tissues or even entire organs. The idea is still considered revolutionary because it allows scientists to manufacture three-dimensional constructs of living tissue in a very exact way. To understand how this works, let's take a look at how a regular 3D printer works. Most 3D printers use a process known as fused deposition modeling. Imagine having a gun with some string tied to it. If you pull the trigger, the string will shoot out and land on the table in front of you. If you move the gun and repeat the process, you'll make a line on the table. Now picture moving the nozzle in three-dimensional space, and you have the basic concept of how a 3D printer creates objects. As the hot nozzle moves through the air, it lays down lines of molten plastic, metal, or other materials, building up three-dimensional objects layer by layer until finished. Bioprinting works in much the same way. A bioprinter deposits tiny droplets of the bio-ink in precise locations according to a digital blueprint. These blueprints are created using computer-aided design or CAD software, which is the same kind used in conventional manufacturing to design everything from cars to airplanes. Each individual drop of bio-ink contains cells that, when deposited in layers, eventually develop into a particular tissue or organ. One of the main benefits of bioprinting over other tissue engineering methods is that it is highly precise. Unlike traditional techniques where cells are grown in 2 dimensions and then implanted into a patient, bioprinting places each cell exactly where it needs to go, resulting in a more natural and functional tissue construct. So which organs have been printed so far? Up until now, researchers have successfully bioprinted a variety of different organs and tissues, including bladders, ears, skin, and bone. But it's important to note that while these are significant achievements, they're mostly small-scale research projects rather than treatments that are widely available. In 2004, scientists at Wake Forest University in North Carolina grew skin tissue in a lab and transplanted it onto patients suffering from severe burns. The results were remarkable and demonstrated the potential of bioprinting for treating burn victims. Since then, various teams have printed bladders for children born without them. One of the most famous cases was in 2006, when doctors at the Children's Hospital in Boston created a bladder for a baby girl. But it's not just simple organs that have been bioprinted. Researchers have also made miniature versions of more complex organs like the liver. In 2014, scientists at the biotech company Organovo announced they had developed a working 3D printed liver using human liver cells. The device is designed to mimic the function of the liver, filtering toxins from the bloodstream and producing proteins essential for blood clotting. The mini liver is only about the size of a sesame seed, but it's still capable of performing many of the functions of a full-sized liver. While these developments are promising, it's important to note that bioprinting technology is still in its early stages. There are many challenges that remain before it can be used to create fully functioning organs such as hearts or kidneys. Nonetheless, the potential benefits of bioprinting are enormous. If successful, it could revolutionize the field of medicine by providing a way to create personalized organs for patients without the need for donors or immunosuppressive drugs. Now imagine the implications for those currently on organ transplant waiting lists. Bioprinting may soon allow thousands of people around the world to receive life-saving organs without having to wait months or even years for a donor. No longer would patients have to contend with the risks and uncertainty of donor availability. Instead, their new organs could be printed on demand using the patient's own cells. However, creating a viable replacement organ is no easy feat. The biggest challenge facing bioprinting today is vascularization. Blood vessels are essential for supplying oxygen and nutrients to the cells in our bodies. Without them, cells cannot survive. For example, one of the main reasons why bioprinted skin needs to be thin is that it's difficult to deliver enough oxygen and nutrients to the cells if they're too deep within the tissue. This limitation doesn't just apply to skin either. Any bioprinted organ must have a network of blood vessels to supply its cells with the necessary resources. And while scientists have made some progress in this area, vascularization remains one of the biggest challenges facing bioprinting today. There are several ways scientists are attempting to overcome this hurdle. One approach is to use a scaffold during the bioprinting process. This scaffold provides a framework for the new organ and can be used to guide the growth of blood vessels. Another approach is to use bioprinting to create artificial blood vessels that can then be connected to a patient's circulatory system. While both of these approaches have shown promise, they are still in the early stages of development, and there is much work to be done before they become routine medical procedures. In addition to vascularization, scientists face another formidable challenge in trying to recreate the complexity of entire organs like the heart or kidneys. These organs are made up of multiple types of cells that must work together in a highly coordinated way. Bioprinting a single layer of cells is relatively easy, but creating multiple layers that work together is much more challenging. Furthermore, these organs must also be connected to other parts of the body, such as the circulatory and nervous systems, which adds even more complexity to the bioprinting process. Despite these challenges, there has been some progress in bioprinting complex organs. For example, in 2020, a team of researchers led by Dr. Anthony Atala at Wake Forest Institute for Regenerative Medicine successfully bioprinted a working heart in a laboratory. The heart was created using a 3D printer that deposited human cardiac cells layer by layer. The resulting heart was about the size of a mouse heart and was able to contract and pump. While this was a significant achievement, it's important to note that the heart was only a small prototype and is not yet large enough to be transplanted into a human patient. Nevertheless, the researchers believe that their technique could one day be used to create larger, fully functional hearts. But the issue of scale is not the only obstacle standing in the way of bioprinted organs becoming a common medical procedure. There are also regulatory hurdles to consider. Before bioprinted organs can be used in humans, they must undergo rigorous testing to ensure their safety and efficacy. In addition, the FDA and other regulatory agencies must approve their use. This process can take years and is often very expensive, which is one reason why there are so few bioprinting startups. It's hard to justify the cost of bringing a new product to market when there is so much risk involved. This brings us to the final major challenge facing bioprinting today: high costs. Bioprinting is still a relatively new technology, and as with any new technology, the initial costs are high. This is one of the reasons why bioprinting hasn't yet been used to create whole organs like hearts or kidneys. The process is simply too expensive. However, as bioprinting technology matures, costs are likely to come down, and this will make it more feasible for bioprinted organs to be used in the future. And finally, while bioprinting offers many potential benefits, it also raises some ethical questions. For example, some people may be concerned about the use of human cells in bioprinting. Others may worry about the potential cost of bioprinted organs. Still, others may question whether bioprinted organs are truly ethical. since they involve the creation of human life in a laboratory setting. These are complex issues that society will need to discuss and debate as bioprinting technology advances. To date, several organizations, including the American Society for Engineering Education, the American Institute for Medical and Biological Engineering, and the Biomedical Engineering Society, have published guidelines for the ethical development and use of bioprinting. These guidelines cover a range of topics including informed consent, privacy, and the responsible use of bioprinting technology. What role does AI play in bioprinting? Artificial intelligence is playing an increasingly important role in advancing the field of bioprinting. AI algorithms can help scientists design better tissues by identifying the optimal combination of cells and biomaterials. They can also help optimize bioprinting parameters such as the speed and pressure of the printer, which can improve the quality of the printed tissue. Additionally, AI can help predict how well a bioprinted organ will perform in the body, which can reduce the time and cost of testing. It can also simulate how a surgery might play out before it happens, allowing surgeons to practice and perfect their techniques. Finally, AI can be used to create virtual models of organs that can be used to test the effects of different drugs and therapies. This can help researchers develop new treatments for diseases more quickly and efficiently. Overall, AI is helping to push the boundaries of what is possible with bioprinting and is paving the way for new and innovative applications in medicine. What's next for bioprinting? Bioprinting has come a long way in recent years, and it's clear that it has the potential to revolutionize medicine. With this technology, we may one day be able to print replacement organs for people who need them. While there are still challenges to overcome, such as vascularization, regulatory approval, and cost, the potential benefits of bioprinting are too great to ignore. As the field of bioprinting continues to develop, we can expect to see new and innovative applications emerge. The use of AI in bioprinting is one area that holds great promise, as well as the ability to bioprint tissues and organs on demand. But perhaps the most exciting prospect of all is the potential to bioprint entire organs for transplantation. While this technology is still in its infancy, the progress that has been made is nothing short of remarkable. In a few short years, we may be living in a world where organ transplants are no longer limited by donor availability or immune rejection. Instead, patients could receive custom-made organs printed just for them. This would be a true game-changer for the medical field and would save countless lives. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Would you get a bioprinted organ if you needed one? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this.